The life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Game match number 2, Bancho versus Wood League C East Division yet again. Let's get right to it, shall we? So again, I don't know picks, bans, all that kind of stuff like that. What I do know is the map we're going to, which is going to be Volskaya Foundry. I don't know who picked it. I don't know who first pick is. All I know is we're going to Volskaya. So without further ado, let's get into the game.
Commence combat preparations.
On the blue side, we have Ban Cho, Shui on Nubarak, Skev 13 on Blaze, Slugodin on the Falstad, Blues Steen V2
10 seconds.
on the Ana, and Quinal on the Kel'Thas.
5, 4,
On the red side, we have Woodleague, Kavlor on the Gul'dan, Droopy playing Zeratul and Mito on the Muradin, Cyan on Rexar, and Sailor Sky playing Stuko. I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. So, just a bit of 4-man clear and rotate from Woodleague. Ban Cho going for the quintessential 1-3-1. Falstad clearing up the top. Blades in the bottom, the rest in the mid. We're going to probably start seeing the rotations onto the camps. Rexar going to start, while Ana and Kel'Thas handle the other side. Gul'dan Muradin just quickly clearing out. Falstad's wave clear, especially until 7, is pretty bad. So he'll be stuck up there for a little while clearing that out. Zeratul looking to see if he can find some space to clear mid. Oh, I'm so tired. Rexar makes a quick rotation. Looks like rain might be a little bit incoming here at the house. I see a bit of an engagement coming into the mid lane there. Misha and Imito taking a lot of damage, but no true engagement. Not a lot of stuns and lockdown being spent in that exchange.
prepare to begin field testing.
So objective coming up in 5 seconds. We have camps being picked up on both sides of the map, and really everything has been pretty even except for the fact
Take control of it.
that Woodleague did manage to get the support camp. So they're going to be up 1 item, and they're the first ones here to rotate, so they have the opportunity to get the first bit of channel and zone out Ban Cho a bit off this point. Sleep going on to Muradin, followed by a living bomb. And Kel'Thas actually taking quite a bit of pressure from Gul'dan and Zeratul in that exchange. 7s are going to be picked up first by Ban Cho, but it's only a small gap and not enough to secure any percentage on this objective. But we're going to see the engagement come through, and Mito gets stunned out of... Nope, the Dwarf Toss wasn't being channeled, so... He does manage to jump away, but he's got 80 health. And manages to squeak away while Nubrak does not survive. Healing item going down. Droopy getting pressured really hard. He's going to get that hit living bomb clip on him. There's a bunch more damage coming in. And Mito is now back up to half health, so he's going to pop in onto the Rexar and going to get the Blaze, and he's going to get the kill there. That's 2 for nothing. All that experience advantage that Bancho did have is gone, and the Protector is going to definitely go to Wood League. Gonna start off the game strong. Top lane is still pushing out. There's only one of the things still alive. Wood League managed to put some pressure onto the front wall. They get this down and this down, but they don't get the towers to drop. A little bit more concerned with pushing out the wave and seeing if they can push up onto this side, this structure here. We'll see if they can manage to do it. So they kind of get what they want out of it, but the thing pops down, engagement comes out immediately. Droopy was already a bit low on health to start with, and then takes quite a bit of follow-up damage, and Stukov now is in a very bad spot. Might be able to walk out, but I don't think it's going to happen. He's going to go down. Sailor Sky is blown up. She was unable to peel herself out before tens. And that's a nice little consolation prize for Bancho. So they're immediately going to go put the pressure onto the healing camp and be able to pick that up right away. Rexar already grabbing the turret down here. And Stukov should be up in time. We might even see an invade come out from Wood League onto the aggressive side camp. They do have tens. Could be something they'll choose to do, or they'll just stick with a conservative play. 10's already picked up for Bancho, so they probably don't want to go in with that. Speaking of 10's, we got Horrify, it's Flailing Swipe, Void Prison, Avatar, and nothing yet chosen by Rexar. Sluggodin gets picked off in the top lane and burns Gust, so that's a 60-second cooldown. So it should be back up in plenty of time for the next major engagement, but definitely a heads-up play by Wood League there. Look, finding that kill and getting the pick and doing what they need to do to put themselves ahead in this game. You see another engagement from Murden onto Kael'thas. He gets poked out pretty hard, and he actually might go down, but he does squeak away. Anna heals are enough to keep him alive. Nubrak at the top wave, making sure that they're not losing any extra experience with the absence of Falstad. And with the Nubrak at the top lane, they're not too afraid of engagements at this moment. Blaze does rotate up, does drop a big slow, trying to slow down the retreat here, but all the squishy targets manage to get out before Nubrak makes the rotation in. The full front wall of the mid fort is gone. We have a slight experience lead for the side of Wood League. And if they can manage to soak really well for the next exchange, they could probably get themselves plus a Nubrak kill right here. That's actually huge. VP with the Dwarf Toss onto Ana and Kael'thas. I think they're in big trouble. Gust comes out. Fear does as well. And now Droopy's in a bad spot. I think he's going to go down here. I don't think he can live. That's a 1-for-1 trade, but they do manage to get the Ana. So a bit of a sloppy setup, mostly just because the Gust was really good and on point to make sure that the squishy targets there in the backline don't get picked off. But finding the Ana kill helped even out a bit of the mistake on Droopy's end, where he went in isolated by himself and wasn't able to get out. Amito taking quite a bit of damage. I don't know if that just interrupted Dwarf Toss. He's going to pass the bomb to Kavlor. No, he able to bounce out, but the follow-up damage wasn't enough to get the kill. He's low on mana. It's just going to go for the tap right away. We have Rexar and Zeratul grabbing the siege camp here on this side of the map. Amito, again, walking in. He's still pretty low on mana. It's going to be tough to do a long exchange. And again, Stukov getting caught out of position. That combustion's going to secure the kill. He does go down. Sluggodin does die in exchange, and so does Anna. So it's actually a 2-for-1 trade. And when Zeratul gets back up, things are actually going to look pretty poor for Ban Cho. Droop is going to be able to get onto Kael'thas. It's going to be a kill. Skeeve 13 is going to do his best to not die here. He does get feared. But the fear doesn't quite put him in the direction that I think they were going for. And so we're going to have Mirrodin sit on the point, and Woodleague's going to make a pretty good play here and go for the camps. They feel like they can be uncontested here. Stukov is back up in time now. They just need to get the channel, and even if the the rotation comes in from Bancho, Mirrodin's pretty good at stalling out the objective. He can just bounce around and stay alive long enough for them to come back up with two full items. Healing item and a turret. And so that's going to be second protector going to Wood League. And 2 forts. So 16s is going to be coming up pretty quickly, and the thing is we still have 40 seconds on this protector, plenty of time to get more pressure into this bot lane. They can take out the front wall, maybe even just a tower and the well, and that'll still set them up pretty handily for the next objective. And with this fort down and objective, you can actually definitely look for aggression onto the bot keeps. Gul'dan, though, taking quite a bit of damage from that Kael'thas poke. He's going to have to back out, but I really do think that Woodley got what they needed to. Zeratul is waiting patiently, and Bancho is none the wiser. They're not aware that he's ready and waiting with 16s, and he's going to get a 3-man Void Prison. With 16s, Void Slash, that's going to be a rough situation. Anna's going to go down. And I think with that kill, they can just drop the healing turret or item and just go right for this fort. Wood League playing this actually really well. I've seen Div B games that haven't looked this clean and well organized. It seems to me that Wood League's just got a handle on this map in particular, and they're going to continue to try to open up a win condition by taking out the keep wall here. And that's really a scary prospect. Like, they don't need to split. They don't need to soak. There's only one item available on the map. Getting this front wall is absolutely the right call, using that level 16 advantage that you have to just bully your way across the map. So they're going to be able to get their turret. They might even, with the how far out we are on 16s, they can't get to this turret, but the healing camp is up in 5 seconds, and I think that we're going to see Droopy just do another very patient wait and bait. No, we're going to see an aggressive rotation. Now, Droopy, I think, overextended himself. He's going to have to drop that turret. That's 3 turrets all dropped to get a siege camp. I don't think that that's the right play. But more or less, Droopy had to drop his because he almost died. But I don't think for a siege camp, dropping 3 turrets is really the call. They do get the kill on Blaze, though, so that might still kind of net out worth. But definitely not what I would like to see. With that kill, though, they are going to be able to pick up the healing camp. But, oh, man, just so many turrets were dropped there. I mean, 3 turrets and a healing camp on this bot objective. whether your opponent has 16 or not, just seems like a free win. I think if Droopy was just a little more patient, they let them have that siege camp. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. They go for theirs, continue to macro the map, and if they step in, then he gets another big flank VP like he did get on the last map. Or on the last engagement in the bot lane. And that might have just been a way better strategy. Instead, that's not how it played out. We are going to have this turret being looked at. It is 10 seconds left on the map. And with the setup, the early setup coming in from Wood League, it looks like they might be able to fast clear this well before the rotation comes in from Bancho, which they're kind of sharking around as 5 as well. So they weren't able to scout out the positioning. Zeratul doing a really good job of clearing this up. He's going to come in. He's going to get the initial engagement onto the Ana. Droopy doing his best to push in. We do get a nice VP onto Kael'thas, which is enough to make sure that there isn't counter damage and stuns coming in. And that secures the kill on Blaze. So again, finding a really good fight yet again in this corner. They're not up one turret because they dropped the turret in this fight. But again, to secure those 2 kills, I think one turret is more than enough value. They still have their healing. And this bottom lane is being pushed up really hard. We're at 34% on the objective. There's a turret still up. 20s are in the hands of Wood League. And again, aside from just one major big mistake up here in the top lane, I think Wood League has had significant control. And again, it wasn't even that big a mistake because they still walked away with the kill. Gul'dan leading the way and the damage on the on Wood League side. Kael'thas getting a lot of work done here for Bancho.
Blue team has taken control of a protector.
And now Protector's coming in to push in onto this keep. It's gonna go down. And with how much health it has, we see the cocoon being dropped onto Gul'dan to kind of slow down the push, but things are looking pretty dire for Bancho. So I don't think that this is gonna be a really hard defense. I think the healing item is still in there. We do get a pick off onto Nubrak with a really good fear. Falstad does manage to stay alive. Droopy is going to get picked off, though, with that living bomb. But I think it's just a non-issue. The Protector should just be able to clean the rest of this up. I don't think the damage output's going to be good enough. And that's going to be game number 1. Wood League coming out 14-4. Very clean game. Start to finish, they kind of knew what they were doing, what they wanted to accomplish. And they pulled it off. I'll bring up the stats here in just half a second once things start to disappear. And there you have it. Kael'thas had a good game. I think he was putting a lot of pressure in where he needed to, and he wasn't giving away anything. But I think the Void Prisons were well placed. And the aggression was there. They were able to get the pickoffs on Ana specifically 4 times, Nubrak 4 times, and Blaze 3 times. They had a good rotation in the top lane to pick off Falstad. And they really didn't give anything up. I think Stukov had a couple moments of being a little bit overextended in weird spots. And sort of same thing with Zeratul, with a little bit failed engagements or being a little bit too far ahead of the team, kind of resulting in him getting picked off. But he only really died once in a bad spot, and then that time he did die, but he got a VP out, which allowed them to be able to finish the game. So I think, kind of hashtag worth. Bring up the talents so everyone can take a look to see what was played. Pretty much standard build. We're seeing Secret in the Dark taken over top of Wormhole, as it kind of still gives you that on-demand kind of positioning that Wormhole does, but this adds a little bit of damage little bit of move speed, but it is a bit of a harder skill shot. So it has some good things and had some bad things, but ever since the changed wormhole, we're seeing this be taken more often. Spine launcher on Stukov for that ranged slow damage. Hunger for power, just going for that max damage output from Gul'dan. Bronzebeard Rage is just being taken way more frequently than Healing Static. Reverberation, this is a build we saw Not Paradox post not too long ago. So that's going to be that. Kel'Thas was not able to actually get his Mana Addict, and that might have actually helped quite a bit on some of the pressure, but considering he didn't die a lot, I would say that in the end it didn't really matter. Everything else seems sort of standard, except for maybe the body grenade at level 7. Anyways, I'm going to pop us to a break while I set up game number 2. I will be right back. All right, we are back with game number 2, Bancho versus Wood League. Wood League taking game number 1 in a pretty convincing fashion on Volskaya Foundry. Game number 2 is going to be going to Towers of Doom. It's a little overview here. We can see Wood League getting the victory on Volskaya. On to Towers of Doom. And yeah, we'll be going from there. I've got a little kitten attacking me, being a pain in the butt. I probably just put him in an area I don't really want him to be, but that's all good. Let's get into the game. On the blue side, looking for the equalizer, we have Bancho, Chusui on ETC, Quinol on Hanzo, Blues, Steen version 2 on Sharonda, Sluggoden playing Li Ming, and Skev 13 on Leoric. And on the other side of the map, we have the looking for the 2-0 domination, Wood League, Emtino on the Anubrak, Droopy playing Greymane, Kavlor on the Kael'thas, Sailor Sky on the Ana, and Cyan playing Rexar yet again. Rexar got him quite a bit of value in game number 1. Not surprised to see it there. We do see a bit of a change up with Anubrak instead of Muradin. Going to other side. Bit of good poke damage coming out from Li Ming onto the backs, but the wave clear is clearly in favor. Of Wood League. Good rotations, the fast clear and the nice deny actually come from Wood League. And again, this team is making some actually fantastic plays. Getting that aggression, making sure that they zone them out from the experience on the bot lane. Now, in essence, they're going to lose a minion here or two, but I think they're still significantly ahead due to that play. Kael'thas taking a bit of poke damage from Hanzo, who's doing a pretty good job just zoning him out. He does get hit by the owl. They're still not in range of getting this XP, and Hanzo is still poking out pretty hard on them. And Tino is making sure that Greymane has all the space in the world to get the camp. Still pretty low. Ana misses the heal. This is the second heal. Tino needed both those heals to be able to make this engage happen. And we have a bit of split focus from Wood League, so it doesn't look like they're actually going to attempt a full engagement. Leoric is actually going to rotate in. And that rotation is going to cost them some experience in the top lane, which is a little bit of a risky play. And front wall is going to take a ton of damage. Droopy dropping below 100 health. He goes at 60 for a moment there. Quite a bit of pressure being applied onto Kavlor. It looks like he almost got picked off by the Li Ming there. Just barely dodging death. But we still have 4's advantage. For Wood League, and they're going to see if they can clear up this camp. But a great engagement coming from ETC. Again, onto Droopy. He's taking a lot of pressure from that Hanzo. Drops to about 200 health. Heals it back up. Kavlor taking even more. I mean, if he walked even a tad bit more north, probably would have been picked off there. Stuns coming out. They do manage to kill one, but I don't know if it was worth, as they ended up losing Kael'thas in the process. And with first blood going to Bancho, things are starting to look a little bit better for them to start this game off. Hanzo's been able to stack his Qs actually very well. We're going to see the initial trade out happening bottom and on the right side. Left is being harassed. I don't know how long they can keep this going for. But Rexar being an absolute terror. Misha is going to die. And it looks like he was just going for the stall. Wasn't really all that concerned. And in the meantime, we're going to see top tower probably get burned away, but no one focused on it. Now Ana is getting engaged on bottom by ETC, but Tino making a fantastic play and stalling out the damage dealers. And in fact, because of that, Shisui was actually way overextended and ended up going down. So that kill, first one for Wood League, is going to help them regain a bit of control here on the map. Top tower goes down. They're going to push up the wave, go right for the camp. Rexar's finishing the soak in the top lane. It's going to be a little slow getting to the mid lane, especially if Leoric slows him down. In fact, it doesn't even look like he's going to get the mid lane experience. That's just going to go right over. Oh, he does manage to find 3. So misses 4 minions. They do get the camp. And now they're in position to appropriately actually invade on this. Rexar can even be called down for a good engagement. Tino needs to not take too much damage. And it looks like instead of going for the invade, though, they're a little bit more concerned with getting the wave clear mid-top and pushing in this camp into the towers. If they could drop this tower first, this would go full on. But Shusui actually getting a nice combo onto him, and he's going to go super low. He does get the heals. Toronto keeping him back up. And it's going to be a successful escort from the two sappers. Tavlor, though, is a little bit too far out. He might get stunned. He just barely squeaks away from ETC's engagement. Now with altar spawning, we might see the equalizer shot coming in. Rexar's already here, and he's going to apply pressure, and Tyrande is actually in a terrible spot. But Kael'thas also got picked off here in the bot lane. But I think the overall is still going to go in favor of Wood League. They trade out 1-for-1, Hanzo for Kael'thas. And just a lot of damage onto... I mean, Tyrande is still sitting at a super low amount of health. ETC was so low that he had to back out. Kael'thas is up, but he's got a longer rotation. But if they get this pick off on Leoric, and maybe even Tyrande, she kind of steps up to try to get Leoric some help, but he goes down. And that's going to be another camp. Kael'thas is going to just quickly clear out the 3 minions in the mid lane. Hopefully we'll see him and Rexar trade out, but it looks like he's just going to keep clearing. And Rexar is going to come down here instead to try to push this in. And it looks like they're going to get all 3 in onto the fort. That means they can actually just push right up onto this. The bottom fort's going to go down. And much like game number 1, it starts off a bit slow, but as it continues on, Wood League just starts to find advantage after advantage. And securing this early fort's a really good spot for them, because the siege damage from Bancho isn't great, and they don't have 10s. So Rexar can clean out this mid wave, go top, clean mid, and then come grab this camp. They might choose to send Rhaegar back. Rexar. No, Greymane. Oh my gosh. To deal with it instead. I think Rexar might just be looking to get their side of the map conversion. ETC made the rotation up here, so I wonder if they're planning on putting Leoric on the aggressive side. But ETC decides to abandon that plan. Looks like they're just going to eat 5 shots. See if they back out here. Anna going top just to make sure. Greymane's going to step back. I thought to go get this camp. But I really think the plan here is Rexar cleans top, cleans mid, and then he's going to go grab the camp. We do see Bancho, though, finally getting some positioning. See if they can press up. Kavlor does get nanoed, but he's super low. And he's taking a ton of damage from Li Ming, and that's actually going to be a converted kill. And a great mosh pit is probably going to secure 2 more kills. Anna doing her best to stay in range to keep Greymane alive. A nice heal. Keeps him up a little bit longer, but that's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange in the bot lane. Well played by Bancho. And that's a bit of life in their hands there. They definitely have the pressure they need to reconvert this tower, which is going to catapult their experience up to almost even with those 3 kills. Bancho really getting some good advantages there, and 8 minutes in, we almost have a full stack of target practice, which means we're going to get some great long-range damage coming out from Hanzo. Tino taking a bit of poke, but he's going to heal up through it, no problem. This camp's going to clash here in the middle of the lane. Wood Leagues are a little bit more bruised and beaten, but Kael'thas is so good at clearing camps. And it's going to be pretty much an even trade. It is 13's converted first, and Leoric is already here. But I think that that's a bit of an issue because that means it's a free channel for Rexar above, and they are still slightly ahead in shots. Nice 3-man Entomb, though. It's going to put a ton of pressure onto Kavlor. He's doing his best to peel himself out, but Nano Kael'thas, though, is just going to go nuts. There's going to be lots of cooldown resets going in here. And that's an absolute monster amount of damage. And with that team fight win, another 3-for-nothing exchange. This team seemed to be doing a lot. They're going to retake the bottom, and they're going to channel after the fact. And that's going to be 5 shots converted for Wood League. And they're just kind of re-establishing a lead here. I think this camp is up in a minute. So I do think the defense is still what they want to do. Droopy getting a little bit ahead of himself. He could get picked off here. Nice stun coming into him, but the combo damage is not there. So he takes quite a bit of pressure, and I would like to see maybe a little bit more commitment to that follow-up as he overextended here 100%. If ETC was on point, that was a dead Droopy. But he's stepping up to get the damage in, using his Quicksilver bullets to get the poke damage out that Greymaine's actually quite good at. Good players of Greymane can really pressure targets with their auto attacks from range. And combine that with range damage from Kael'thas. You get targets low, and then you can go in and kill things. And I think it's generally a lot better. Orb build's pretty good, though. It does punish the positioning of Greymane a bit. He has to watch out for that. Again, even on that one stun, that was a blind, that raw stun from Tyrande. If that was followed up with a Ming combo, that was a dead Greymane. So they're kind of 3-man defending this. We get another nano onto Kael'thas, and it does just so much damage when that thing is applied. We have Rexar and Greymane that can ran into the mid lane and started putting a bunch of pressure into the mid fort. So there's just so much macro pressure coming out. But Leoric, instead of matching Rexar in the top lane, is just going to come in here and see if he can find an engagement. They are 16-14. They really want this fort back, but they are running out of time. 17 seconds on the clock till the next altar phase. I'm gonna grab a camp. No, they're just looking for poke damage, and they're getting quite a bit on Kavlor. Actually, he gets hit with a dragon arrow, but there was no follow-up in place ready to capitalize. But Kavlor instead getting hit with a nice raw stun from Blue Steen. Rexar, though, is just going to convert the mid. Look to convert the top. We do have 16s. So is it going to be just a 6-for-5 trade? Looks like that's going to be the case. But with that camp getting escorted in, that's another 3 shots, and things looking kind of dire for Bancho here. Another 3 sappers are being pushed up. We're going to probably see another nano come out onto the Kael'thas here, as it is about to be a big team fight, but he does get slid, but it was interrupted. Good sleep from Anna. Make sure that they don't get a full duration of Mosh Pit, which keeps them alive, but Anub'arak does go down, and there was no nano that came out on Kael'thas. Now Droopy is in pretty much terrible position, and that's going to get him killed. So I think that there is not much left of this fort, and a good exchange by Bancho. They were behind, they were down 16s, but they managed to find more kills on the Rexar and on the Greymane and on the Anub'arak. And that's yet another 3-for-nothing exchange over a period of time. Really good bunch. Oh man, that was such a good setup. The Rexar stun into the Kael'thas damage. Now Kael'thas is really low on mana. He is going to drop Phoenix in the middle of the wave. Not entirely certain what that gets him, but it does help clean out the wave a bit more. Just under half health on this fort. We still have 5 shots available on this next altar, and I think that's what Bancho is doing their best to try to do. But I think that Wood League doesn't care. I think they're just going to allow them to convert. They're going to grab this exchange here, although the stall is going to come in. Oh man, Nubrak should have W'd that. And that's going to put them down to 3 shots in the core. That means Boss wins the game, and it looks like we're going to see the rotation come out from Wood League onto that Boss. Can they clear it fast enough? I think they're just going to bait it, and they can force the bait here because really Bancho has no choice but to push in. They realize that it's a bait, but if they back out here, things could go bad. We see the engagement coming out onto Chisui. So we saw 3 heroics converted for 1. And Mtino is in a bad spot, and so is Droopy. Droopy's going to try to get in there, but it looks like he's going to go down. So I think after the failed attempt, Sailor Sky is now on an island and is going to die. I think on that failed attempt to kind of secure the win here, and then they dropped 3 of their heroics. I think you just leave. I think staying there just guaranteed things weren't going to go their way, and that great Leoric flank catching Mtino out. And this is going to be up before Anna is, although they do have a fast reinforcement. So still plenty of time for Wood League to stall this out. They don't have to fight over this. In fact, they're much more favored in situations where there's multiple altars.
Be swift, heroes. Do not
Misha did die. Anna is finally up. And yeah, they're just going to focus on pushing up the lane. They won't want to get too far up because it can still definitely get collapsed upon. Owl's going to scout to see if there's anyone lying around and wait. I don't think it saw anybody. And now major engagement, Dragon Arrow into Entomb, plus we got Mosh Pit. And things going from bad to worse for Wood League. These engagements are just not working out. Hanzo massively heading damage. Liming not far away. And I wonder if we're going to get another 3-game set here. I mean, it is like one slip up from Bancho definitely means the end of the game. Even with this conversion here, they still are under threat of losing if this altar is converted. But they do have 20s. And if they get 2 channeled, that's going to bring them, it's going to be 3-5, and it's going to be super close. So it looks like Wood League is doing their best. And that's it. It looks like kind of the plan here. They realize that 3 shots still ends the game. So they're going to try to push a little bit of pressure into the mid lane. But it's not going to be fast enough. There's just not enough siege damage to really secure the fort. And so, yeah, we're going to see the aggression being set up. They have 20s. Wood League's going to feel obligated to fight this out. But with that double silence entomb on 2 squishy targets, plus the follow-up damage, that's going to be another kill onto Kel'Thas. And things are just going from bad to worse for Wood League. So they're going to rotate down here, see if they can convert this back. They do have very good siege, so they can probably clear this almost fast enough before the engagement comes in. And none of their major engage tools are up, so they should be able to get out. A good slide onto Droopy means he's going to drop here. They get the tower conversion, but for a kill, I don't know if it was worth. I mean, do we just see a desperate boss play come up? I don't know. It's 2 minutes on that, so it's still a long way out. Kalthos is going to be up, but Greymane is not, so this is just going to be reconverted. And 3 shots are going to be escorted in on the bottom. Well, I guess I got to drop the fort first. I forgot that the siege damage isn't great on the side of Bancho. They will get this tower, though. Nano Kalthos is going to come out. He's going to start putting the pressure in, but we're going to see an Entomb. Silence Entomb, maybe? No, he's going to go down. And that is a much-needed kill for Wood League. Mtino is super low. He does get a cocoon onto Hanzo. And Kavlor just kind of steps up. Mtino goes down. 3-man mosh pit means Kalthos is also going to die. Greymane's still not up, and this is going to convert. And I think with those kills, this is going to be a win for Bancho on Towers of Doom. And that's going to be another game 3. So I picked up 3 casts today. But it seems like they're all going to be 2-1s. So we're going to be at this for quite a bit today. Maybe a little bit longer than I was anticipating. If one team gets channel over the other, it's over for both sides. But the Silence Entomb comes out. They get the kill on Ana. Droopy desperately trying to get the conversion. He's gonna go down. Rexar gets the kill on Tyrande, which is just awesome. Just kind of like a, hey, here's a little FU at the end of the game. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be game. So got a little crazy there. Both teams could convert. You know, one channel won the game, but the man advantage definitely led to Bancho, and my initial prediction that they were going to pick up the win here was correct. It popped to the stats screen. Let's pop those up on the screen. Let's go with talents first, I guess. There you have it, folks. Game number 2. 1-1. I mean, Wood League played a really clean first 10 minutes of the game. To the point where I thought Bancho was in a dire straight situation. But yeah, just one pick off here, another kind of bad fight here, and then they got 20s first, and then every fight post 20 was pretty rough. The Silence Entomb was causing lots of problems. The Dragon Arrow was on point as good follow-up. Li Ming was getting the resets and just got too much for Wood League to handle. So that's going to be game number 1. Let's put this onto a break while I set up game number 3. Welcome back. Game number 3 between Ban Cho and Wood League will be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. And of course, there's my ticker giving away the results terribly. I needed to turn that thing off. Oh well, we'll just pretend we didn't see it. It's all about watching the games. I guess we all kind of know what the results are in the end. Anyways, it's about the casts and observing the games and just seeing the play. The play is what's important. So we're just going to head right into game number 3.
Prepare yourselves. The battle begins.
On the blue side, we have Sluggedin on the Zool. Quinol on the Hanzo again. Shusui on Greymane this time. Blues Steen version 2 on the Anduin. And Skep playing, and Skep 13 on Nubrak. And on the red hand side, we have Wood League, Sailor Sky on the Stukov, Kavlor on the Kalthos, Droopy playing Maiev, Imtino on the Diablo, and Cyan playing Malthiel.
Slay them all, heroes.
Well, opening exchange, wave clear advantage is definitely a bit on the side of Wood League. Zool is very fast clear, but he has to be able to step up on the wave safely. And Tino going to get rooted, though. Quite a bit of pressure going to come out onto him, actually. He doesn't have a lot of soul stack, so that damage is going to stick. It's going to be pretty intense, but he does walk away. Good heal by Stukov. Nice silence to continue to peel him out. We're going to see Maiev begin the fight on the Bruiser camp. Nice and quick. Well done there by Droopy. Hitting on the shoulder. Droopy seeing if he can sneak down here and grab these siege giants. The wave is going to get pushed up, and I think he's going to realize that Shusui spots him. It's pretty low. He does get the pull, though, onto Greymane, and that actually is a pretty bad situation with the Malthiel there. He doesn't have his level 4 kind of burst talent yet. In fact, speaking of talents, let's bring those up. Hanzo, though, getting a nice, really, again, a really big head start on target practice. Getting 2 of those stacks already this stage of the game, 2 minutes in, is incredibly fast. Quinol really showing his stuff on the Hanzo. And last game was really good. He got a lot of damage done with another, again, a pretty early quest complete. Though getting his 5th stack took quite a while. But we're going to see Wood League definitely get the conversion on the bot camp. I now have 2 kittens on my shoulders. And a big engagement coming in onto Nubrak. But with those 2 early camp pickups, and the fact that they haven't been giving up a lot of soak for them, has put Wood League slightly ahead in the experience. But we have gotten some actual turn-ins, though, from Ban Cho. And they're just about ready to get their 50 in. They have enough gems. So does Wood League, but they don't have anything turned in. So 17 on Sluggodin. It looks like they're going to go for the conversion onto Malthael, who has 19 gems, and that's actually going to be a really money pickoff in the bot lane. Well done by Bancho. And with that exchange, I'm thinking we're going to probably see the last 2 gems being turned in by Bancho, and they're going to get the first objective.
My power grows by your beauty's hand.
Greymane pushing up the bottom lane. Malthael is back up. Does have his dueling talent though, so Greymane needs to be at least a bit careful. Kavlar getting a little bit of pressure on, but he's going to be fine. I'm going to just back up. We see Maiev here applying some pressure in the mid lane. Malthael goes down again. Greymane winning the exchange between the two of them. Guess he was just dishing enough damage that auto attack change really helping out. And 5 minutes in, we almost have all of target practice actually stacked. So the range is already there. I think. He's almost about to get the damage. And Chusui just getting a lot of pressure here in this bot lane. Diablo is now fully stacked. Malthael's going to see if he can actually get this traded out. He should be able to save the fort. And things experience-wise looking okay for Wood League, but that was a lot of pressure onto the bot fort. Greymane won that exchange really hard. And a reasonably good opening web weavers for Bancho, actually. Blue Steen getting engaged upon by both Maiev and now Diablo, and now he's in a bit of a bad spot, but we're seeing a lot of pressure being put onto Droopy. Big silence pool going in to try to peel things out. Chusui likes to step up to see if he can get Droopy, but nothing actually converts. And he manages to get himself away. He's gonna go for the turn in, a little risky, especially given the health bar. Kavlar's also sitting at just below half health. Malthael, though, a little bit more wise to the rotations here, not allowing himself to get picked off and lose another stack of gems, which was you know, really kind of set Wood League behind in the early game here. But now maybe it's Greymane who's overextended. Now we're going to see the opposite effect, but he does peel out right into a Kael'thas. He manages to get the conversion, but Hanzo is putting a lot of pressure onto him, but this frontline engagement is still going really well. And it looks like Zul might go down, but he manages to get out. But it looks like Malthael might get engaged upon, but he manages to squeak his way out. But Hanzo's in trouble. Diablo's bullying him. He does get the leap over the side. We see the stun come out from Kavlar to see if they can convert the kill. And really just one, I think there was only one kill in that whole exchange. Greymane was the only one that went down. And now that's going to be a Web Weaver conversion for Wood League. Droopy's also going to be able to get this out. If he's got a tap, that's good. He's going to be able to come back into this at almost full health. There's a little bit of top up from Stukov. That should be good. Malthael's going to push out the mid lane, I think. I don't think bot is going to be much of a consideration. And we're going to see a 4-man push, I think, in the top lane. Everyone prioritizes the top lane. Oh, my bad, guys. And we see a big engagement coming out here. Big combo from the Hell Pit. The lightning breath into the Warden's Cage. Prison of Fire, whatever you want to call it. Lucifer's Cage. I like that one. Good old supernatural reference for you. And a nice engagement from MT. No, he doesn't get the flip over onto Greymane, which could have actually put him in a really bad spot. But that's going to be a 3-fort opening Web Weavers from Wood League, and I think that's going to reestablish control over the map. Target practice is done, though, so lots of long-range poke coming out from Hanzo. Cursed Bullet means really anyone that gets nailed with that plus good follow-up burst damage is going to be hurting pretty hard. Droopy does get initial engagement onto Skev. He's looking pretty low. And it really just looks like Wood League's got full map control at this stage. With 3 forts down, stepping up past this point is still a pretty risky endeavor. So we're going to see the attempt onto the camp here. They realize they can't move in. 13s are almost converted for Wood League. And they're going to use that 13 advantage to the best they can. Got bottom camp out. And I think that they feel like, well, as long as we have the camp going, we might as well push up with it. So we're going to see a lot of pressure being applied to the bot lane. And in also contrast, because of this, top lane's going to get a lot of free push. So big Curse Bullet onto Malthael. He's going to heal up, though. There wasn't any follow-up available. Any of it would have been pretty risky for them to pull off. I think the Easy Bake Oven is the Leoric, but what a good Dragon Arrow. Picks off Maiev and kind of neuters the rest of this engagement here. Good Cocoon onto Malthael. Stukov gets picked off by Quinol, and this Hanzo play has just been fantastic in both games. Really applying the pressure. Although, we'll have to say, Malthael doing a fantastic job in getting that conversion out. Getting a nice, trade. Killing the Nubrak. You know, it's a consolation prize, but it's still better than nothing. But that was a fantastic Dragon Arrow. Yeah, I think Easy Bake Oven is Leoric Entomb into Lightning Breath. So I think Lucifer's Cage is my favorite when you're talking about the... or Hell Dungeon, whatever you want to call it. If you want to get specific. I guess with it being Blizzard, we can just call it Diablo's Cage. Hell Pit, I don't really know. Maybe we'll just stick with Easy Bake Oven, because why not? They do similar things, right? Good conversion kill onto Nubrak. Continuing that follow-up onto Hanzo. He does manage to leap over. Nice quick leap. Keeps him alive. But that kill on a Nubrak probably gives Wood League this chance to boss. In fact, I would take it. Because even if they step up to get Web Weavers, boss will neutralize. But they're just going to go for the straight siege. This composition's a little risky on siege because both Maiev and Malthael are a little bit rough on it, which is why I think the boss is the right call. With that kill on a Nubrak, he had 20 seconds to burn it, and Malthael actually burns bosses pretty well. Just doesn't siege on forts well. And especially considering how far out Wood League is from an objective, boss is really their best win condition at this moment. But it looks like they're just going to go for the camp. Probably allow a bit of turn in. We do have 13 from Hanzo. He steps back. I'm pretty sure he could have got those in. But I think Bancho is figuring is they got lots of time to get these in. And the last thing they want to do is try to get a turn in while they don't have 16s. So now we're looking at boss. Now, it's a bait. We saw a bit of this from Wood League from before where they were baiting bosses. They are going to full commit to it while 5 members are up. They are split, though. The boss burn is decent. But Cyan is sitting pretty low, and an engagement here could be problematic. Mtino actually taking half his health and damage. But there's really no, like, commitment from Bancho, and I think the Mtino has zoned this out so well. Warden's Cage going down. That's going to be a boss conversion. I just feel like if you guys could do that here, you totally could have done it while Nubrek was dead. Good engage onto the Zul. Fantastic peel from Anduin. 2 getting hit by the Poison Nova, but when it's not like in the middle of an engaged fight, it gets a little bit rough. Greymane is a little bit far out. Yeah, he's actually going to get engaged upon and actually pulled back in. Good Dragon's Arrow to keep him alive. He manages to dodge the boss stun. Webweavers are down, so we're not going to see a full commitment, but you don't need to. This boss is going to take this keep no matter what they do. Honestly, I would just back up, clear the Webweavers. You got what you needed to. You're not going to get a win condition here because you didn't get any kills off that engagement. If you killed the Greymane in that situation, for sure, that was definitely, you might be able to look at core. So nobody has turn in yet, and we're sitting in right about the exact same number of gems. Slight advantage for Bancho. They have 16s now, so fights can be a little bit more risky. I'm curious, Droopy, what you think about all the buffs that have kind of come along in on Bonds build. Bonds of Justice build. I've been feeling like, despite my dislike for the level 1 talent, a lot of the other talents on that tier is actually pretty strong. The armor reduction at 7, the damage increase, the damage buff at 13 or 16, or sorry, at 13, and plus the armor gain at 16 might be things that are worth looking at. This is generally the standard build though, so nothing surprises me here. We do get the conversion. The turn in actually does go to Wood League, and that's actually a bad turn of events for Bancho. They really needed to get this turn in. Or find a fight before 20. I think that's a fair point. I mean, clearly this build is working out fine, so I was just curious. Oh, we're seeing the pressure in on this keep. They're doing a really good job of poking out this this Webweaver. I wonder if aggression was needed there from Wood League, as top is getting good push into the top lane. You could dive under that fort a bit while the Webweaver is pushed up, try to put the pressure in, but now you're going to do it here. We do see a good disengage coming out from the Hanzo arrow, and we do see the kill onto Malthael. Now, Malthael gets buyback, so I think the overall exchange here is definitely in favor of Wood League. With 3 kills here, 50-second death timers, buyback from Malthael, I'm pretty sure this game is over. We did get a bit of a spoiler before it started, but, I mean, Bancho played a good set. Fantastic. I think that's a good response. I like it. Yeah, give it a shot. Tell me what you think. I love feedback. Interaction from the community is one of the reasons I do this. I mean, you guys could have full committed to the core here. I don't think you need to. This isn't Alterac Valley. The core does not have this. Alterac Pass. This does not, the court does not have armor because the keeps are still up. I mean, guys are just kind of just skilling a little bit here. I mean, giving them maybe a window to actually come back into this. Probably a bit more scary than it needed to be. In fact, here's a bunch of kills coming in. You're gonna get the win here, but just go for the core, guys. Don't dick around on that mid keep. There's no reason to do that. Well done, though. Woodley comes out on top, grabs the 2-1 victory in a hard-fought set. Bancho had a good match. There was all 3 games had areas could go both ways. He got bad stats. Yeah, that's a good response. Let's take a look at the results here. Again, Quinn on that Hanzo. Despite not converting this game into a win, I think he's a force to be reckoned with. His KDA on the hero is actually quite fantastic. And he put up just ridiculously good numbers. But this is kind of the formula of winning teams. Even if you don't have high damage numbers, look at the conversions. 5-1-1-2. You're still getting more kills, generally speaking. You're still macroing harder. If you look at the macro, you're doing a better job here. Doing a better job here in experience. I think it's actually pretty close. So even though these 2 heroes aren't, you guys are still getting out damaged, Bancho did a good job on that side of things. What matters is conversions. And in the end, the aggression was too much for them to deal with. Let me switch this over to the talent so everyone can take a look and see what everyone took. 53 stacks on Kel'Thas. I said in the last game that he never completed the quest. I forgot it completes at 20. He had 28. It continues to tick. I'm a dummy. Yeah, overall, just a fantastic set. I really enjoyed casting that. And that's going to be that for that set. So guys, that is game number 2. I'm going to, again, close the stream down and get set up for my 3rd cast of the night, which is a Div D West matchup, Backbone CS versus Disturbance. Please stick around for that. And for sure, again, like I said at the end stream, any follows help me out hugely. If you've got your Twitch Prime, or have any spare sub money around, I definitely appreciate anything that you guys can help out with. Biddies work too as well. All that helped the stream, help me out, and you will be rewarded for it. I will get some emojis set up. I wasn't prepared when I got affiliate because I didn't think I was going to get subs in the first day after I got it, which I did manage to get. So I still have work to do, but I've been pretty busy. So it's been kind of hard for me to be able to get that all set up as of yet. I'm also doing a lot of my own personal streams. I do Twitch things periodically, once a week, maybe a little bit more frequently. I stream my heroes matches, and I'm going to try to get a little bit more World of Warcraft on the stream too as well. So if any of that interests you, please come see me when I'm streaming anyways. Like I said, Wood League won against Bancho. But stay tuned. I'm going to put this will be back screen. The stream will close down as I convert all the titles, so it makes it easier for me to upload the videos to YouTube later. And we'll be back with Backbone CS versus Disturbance.